internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our script. Let's get right into today's video. You are not gonna believe this. This is gonna be, I'm gonna say, at least probably top 3 of one of the best videos I'm about to drop. We are gonna just, because a puzzle is complete, okay? And you're gonna see my original reaction on when I was putting everything together, which I'll play when I come across Ross Lacau. But this right here, folks, I'm telling you right now, it's going to give you goosebumps, it's going to give you shivers, it's going to give you the holy crap. That is insane what they did behind the scenes and what was discussed behind those closed door meetings in May 2019. And the lady behind this is Christine Lagarde, okay? So it starts March 15th, 2017. But first, let me set the tone before we get into it, because this is going to be a very, very scary video for some of you guys. If you don't see the bigger picture after this and what Ripple is doing behind the scenes, you're screwed in just all aspects. But listen to this video by Bruce.
Fourth turning. A fourth turning is a time of epic change. It's named for a book of that title that came out in 1996 by Strauss and Howe, where they talked about how about every 100 years or so, there are these times of epic change in humanity, where everything changes. Borders change, systems change, old power structures change, and a new world is born. And this has happened again and again throughout history, and they actually predicted, they wrote this book in 1996, they predicted that we would have a fourth turning right about 2020 that would begin and last for about 8 years or so. So whether you've read the book or not, it's pretty easy to understand that we are clearly in this fourth turning. We are in a time of epic change. We are in a time of turmoil and chaos.
So it starts in 2017. IMF Managing Director welcomes establishment of high-level advisory group on fintech. So she gathered all this up, okay? She brought it over Jeremy Allaire, CEO of Circle, USDC. What are the odds? You see this? They already knew from the get-go what was going to happen. I don't think you're not ready for this video. Chris Larson, CEO of Ripple, also a part of this. And no other digital asset company. Okay. And if you guys remember this picture with Christine Lagarde right there, Brad Garlinghouse, Jess Chang from Ripple at the time. This is going to be a big topic. We're going to talk about her. Wait until we start talking about her. And we got Rob Palatnik. And this is very, very important. So this was 5 years ago. This was 2019. And after this, what they discussed was pretty much to spiderweb out and lead this innovation and lead this financial infrastructure being built. I hope I didn't confuse you there, but they pretty much put industry plants in each department, if that makes more sense, within this little meeting, and they're all working on this together for a very long time. Look at this. So Christine Lagarde left the IMF 2019. This is very important. This is what I mean by it's all coordinated. 2019. She left managing director of the IMF. And then she starts her role at the ECB November 2019. And she is the president of the European Central Bank. Because she knew, this is not conspiracy, this is facts. And if you think this is not facts, like just leave. She knew that this transition was going to be enormous. And maybe she was getting bored at the IMF. So she took on the role of president of the European Central Bank. That is significant. That's a big move. But it gets even better. So she leaves and she needs to find a replacement. So she finds Kristalina Georgieva. And her previous records are the World Bank, ECB vice president of a different department, and the CEO as well at the World Bank, folks. World Bank, pretty much World Bank since her early days, since 1993. She puts her as the managing director of the IMF now.
And fairer, we need systems that connect countries. In other words, we need interoperability.
And then Ross Lacow, okay, so this is when the transition happened. Ross Lacow, at the time, was at the IMF until 2019. What did they do with Ross? They put Ross at the BIS Innovation Hub as well in 2019.
You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe
the IMF.
I should take what the IMF is going to do.
And there's more to it, but this was my original reaction when I was about to, once I figured out the timings, how they were perfectly coordinated, I was about to go check Ross Lacow and I was so hyped. So take a listen to this. All right, I'm just in the middle of investigating here. And if I pull this up, what am I pulling up? Ross Lacow's LinkedIn profile. If this says 2019, I'm going to lose my shit. And I just want to get my reaction to this because this is normally when I would come out and tweet saying, oh my goodness, you got to check the, like, you know, we got a jaw dropper. Okay, let's see. Where's his profile here? Hope you guys are enjoying the video. When did he start? Oh my God. No, he did not start in 2000. Wow. My goodness. My goodness. There's no way. There's no way. Wow. There's no way. So that's 2019. So this is when this transition happened. And the conversations happened right here. Okay? This is insane. Why is this big? This is just the tip of the iceberg because you guys know Ripple is a part of the Cross-Border Payment Interoperability and Extension Task Force. And this was published just last year, months ago. Right? Ripple is here, along with MasterCard, Swift. They're all in this. And Ulrich Bitzel is the chair of this and is looking over this. This is very important because ECB appointed Ulrich as a director of General Market Infrastructure and Payments. And when did this happen? When the transition happened, November 1st, 2019 was his first day in office. And then getting on to Jess Chang, this right here. We got a stealthy. Take a look at this. This was a trade-off. And you're going to get completely mind blown here, okay? So she was at Ripple's until 2018. And then just before that meeting, she was at the IMF. And then she went to the Federal Reserve. So she is taking her knowledge and her expertise that was gained at Ripple and is now distributing it through IMF, the Federal Reserve. And then what's even more crazy is the fact that Rob Palatnik right here, he was the CEO of the DTCC. And take a look at this. Now he's also the advisory board member at the Digital Dollar Project, which Ripple is heavily involved with. And here we have Tobias Adrian and Brad on a panel, 2019, and Christine Lagarde listening to the panel because she put all this together. And Tobias is pretty much their go-to guy, like their brains behind everything. 2019, stablecoin, central bank, digital currencies, cross-border payments. 2020, evolving the work better together. Public-private partnerships for digital payments. He's telling you that public and private sectors are going to partner up to create a better inclusive payment system, right? That's 2020. CBDCs and multilateral payment platforms, 2023. Do you see this? March of last year, trust bridges and money flows, which we already did a deep dive on these documents.
On the concept of a global CBDC platform to trade and to manage risks, and my colleague Tobias Adrian will talk more about it later.
Right, because Agustin is asking why, is that there's huge financial exclusion, and these technologies have proven to increase financial inclusion enormously. So I think you have to look broadly around the world. I think this is one motivation, and I think the Ripple example is one example. I think this is one motivation, and I think the Ripple example is one example. You know, and Norman has talked about that, is that international payments are very expensive.
And the bombshell, taxing stablecoins, was published months ago, and you will not believe who is right here, one of the authors, Jess Chang. This is remarkable. Do you see how they're still all in this together, creating this fireball of a system that's going to just shock the world?
And you're going to be the infrastructure around all of that.
That is our goal, and we think that opportunity is huge. We think that's going to be great for Ripple. We think it's going to be great for XRP, which is a digital asset we use. And we think that opportunity is huge. We think that's going to be great for Ripple. We think it's going to be great for XRP, which is a digital asset we use.
And here we have Christine Lagarde, Michael Barr, nothing to see here. Ripple Labs names Michael Barr as advisor in 2015. Another example of them gaining knowledge, leaving the company, taking on bigger roles, understanding the technology. And that's why you get individuals like Michael Barr to be the head of supervision at the Federal Reserve. That's how they create new systems and expand knowledge. And this is remarkable to see it all happen. He was at the advisor labs for a couple years. There's a lot of knowledge that's gained there. What's right, what's wrong. And then you put educated individuals at these levels that Michael Barr is in. Do you see how this all makes sense? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.